And we are live. Hey, thank you, team. I appreciate you guys joining in. Welcome to another episode of Comfort and Chaos with your host, yours truly, the one and only Gabe, or AKA Vato. Hey, team, thank you so much. Once again, I appreciate you for clicking on and joining and tuning in for this episode. You already know the support goes a long way. I appreciate that. If you're not part of the Comfort and Chaos team, by all means, don't hesitate to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, but the support definitely goes a long way, and the appreciation, and of course the involvement. You know, you're part of the team, so therefore you're part of the involvement. You know, you're somebody who's got experiences, knowledge, skill sets, depending on where you live. You know, so I'm as a military leader myself, I try to exploit the value of every member on a team because it is there. You know, so enough said. Thank you for that. And let's go ahead and get onward with today's episode. Okay. So this one's a little tricky today. Yes, as you can tell, my hand is still on the recovery side. Hopefully next week, you know, the doctor should be taking this off. I'm really hoping for good news. I've been taking care of it really well, so I'm hoping, you know, and, you know, a lot of that can go different ways, you know, when it comes to recovery, because sometimes with me, my stubbornness, and as a military leader and somebody who's always been brought up and always been that individual to just really kind of push yourself, you know, sometimes it's okay to be humbled. Sometimes we got to get humbled, you know, and that's kind of what happened in my case. So it is tough. But I am getting through, and I'm using some good resiliency, and of course I value my circle, you know, people close to me, keeping you going, you know. So remember that. Always value your circle, team. All right, always value your circle. Okay, so today's episode, as you can tell, just from the thumbnail, you know, the title, you know, a lot of people have reached out to me and have asked me, you know, especially because, you know, I'm a first sergeant in the Army. You know, and as a military man, you know, a senior leader, and that isn't just my identity though. You know, I always tell people, you're still a man. You know, you're still a man, you're still a woman, you're a mother, you're a father, you're a wife, you're a husband, you're a boyfriend, you're a girlfriend, you're a brother, you're a sister. Like, you're so much to you than just this small little tick mark of a time in your life of what you did for a career, you know. So that being said, I do have my thoughts, you know, I have my own opinions, and I have my own experiences, just like you. Now, this one's tough because people have always asked me, what do you think when you see someone burning the American flag, you know? And I have to be honest, you know, and I'm going to be honest with you. There is a sense of emotion that hits any kind of military, type of military individual, you know, whether you're men and women and you chose to serve. Now, key word, I'm going to emphasize this later. You chose to serve, you know, you made the choice to dedicate selfless service to your country. That means you will go where you're told to go. You will do what you're told to do. You know, you took an oath, you know, to be the defender of freedom, you know, at all costs. So a lot of pride, a lot of tradition, and most importantly, honor, you know, it comes with that. So when you mix all of that up and then you add all the time, the sacrifice, the dedication, and the personal experiences that I've also faced, you know, overseas and here. I mean, there's so much more that comes to making that choice. So it's like you take all that and you just put it in a cup, you know, and you shake it around and then you chug it. And that's what I have to process whenever I see a simple action like that, you know. So it is tough. It is tough because, you know, that's what America is. It is freedom. It is the freedom to protest. It is the freedom to think independently. It's the freedom to operate independently. You know, there are so many freedoms because all of these protests that you see, you know, and it just happened recently, but all of these are, I'm telling you, I've been to multiple countries. Some of you probably watching from different countries, you know that is not something you can just do all the time. You know, in certain countries, it's not even allowed. Certain countries, good luck. Try it. Like, really try it. But you know, that's one of the greatest things about our country. You know, that's the greatest thing about America. And that's why I tell people, you know, you got to love this country. You know, it's your home. There's so much that we take for granted on a daily basis as Americans. You know, I heard a quote. I'm gonna mess this up, but there's a quote that a perspective towards Americans today, and the perspective was, you are people of so much convenience and so much comfort, but yet, why the lack of integrity? Why the lack of integrity? Now, integrity can go a long ways, you know, that personal integrity. It's like we're so quick to get this, get that, go for that, make that money, do this, hustle this, get this, make this point known, blah, 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 regardless, you know, that we tend to lose the integrity, you know. So I heard those words and it just stuck to me, you know, and I just wanted to really harp on the whole idea that when it comes to me seeing the burning of the American flag, it's tough because I just know too big of a sacrifice and too many who have died, who have pledged allegiance to that flag. In the military, we call it, there's two flags. There's the flag and the colors. They're the same thing with the exception of a gold lining, all right, around it. That's a flag. So every morning we start the day and we salute the colors. It's the rising of the colors every morning at 6:30, you know, and everybody on a military installation, like everybody stops. The car, you have to stop, you pull over because you have to respect the flag, you know. Now, when you're in that community, that's all you know, and it's true. And the reason why we have to respect the flag because of all the sacrifices that were made and came before us. You know, all the brothers and sisters who took the same oath that we took, you know, who fought during World War I, World War II, you know, who sacrificed themselves or even just pledged their service representing and wearing that same flag. Also, that's what we're honoring. You know, that's why we don't let the flag touch the ground. That's why we have to fold it a certain way to include. That is why even when you destroy a flag, you have to do it a certain way. There's a proper way of destruction for the flag, you know. So that is clearly, you know, where I stand on that. You know, it is disappointing. I watch it and I watch it with disappointment, but at the same time, I know that, hey, you're free to do that. In this country, you're free to do that. But I hope and I pray you don't take advantage of the fact of who you are and where you're from. You know, do it in the American way. You know, the American way of life. You know, understand. Never forget what team you're really on. You know, never forget what team you're really on. I even got a video here I want to show, and we're going to go over this video, and we'll even like react to this one here, and I'll show you. So here's what happened, team. All right, here's what happened. All right, this is what happened. I'm going to pull it up here on the screen. Sorry, I'm doing this with one hand right now, so bear with me. Hey, no making fun of my hand, all right, guys? Okay, here we go. All right, so here we go. So this is basically what just went down. All right, this is what went down recently in Washington, D.C. I want you guys to pay attention here as we react to this, and let's see what we got. So clearly this guy's destroying an American national monument, obviously. Now, here. Okay, so we're going to get into the weeds on this one, guys. All right, and you know me. I'm not a sugarcoater, guys. You know, I wouldn't have the job I have if I was a sugarcoater. We don't have time to BS, you know, my line of work. So one, I don't know why this guy's hiding his face, you know. I don't know why he's hiding his face. For one thing, you gotta. I'm a big man of ownership. You guys hear me tell you, own your stuff. All right, own it. Do it with pride. If you're gonna stand there and deface a monument, and you're gonna spray Hamas on that monument, dude. Clearly, we could see you doing it. You're being filmed. All right, at that point, just own it. If that's the sword you want to stand on, then you know that's the sword you want to fall on. Then go for it. But do it with pride. Otherwise, then you're just doing it because it's trending, you know, and that's what worries me, team, because there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of that. You know, there was so much in fact, there's so much behind this that it's weird because during this protest, you know, you can, they're being dropped off by buses, which I thought that was weird. How are there buses dropping off all these protesters? And then two, how are there so many like middle-aged men and women who don't work? Like this was in the middle of the week at like noon. There were so many questions, guys. So many questions I had. But here's the thing, man. When it comes to this, I don't know what's your point. All right, here's the thing. You can protest, all right? And I'm all about, hey, you have the freedom to protest. You do. Now, one, make sure you know about who you're protesting for or what you're standing up for. Because right here, Hamas is a terrorist organization. All right, know the history of Palestine. All right, the two forms of government, know that. There were two forms of government. Hamas is taking over it, now runs it. Hamas is a known terrorist organization. All right. Now, if you're going to protest, do it, man. I mean, you can protest. You know, that's the greatest part about being an American. You have the freedom of choice. You know, you have that freedom. But I mean, at least at the end, never forget what team you're really on, or never forget who you are and where you come from. You know, you can protest that because you don't believe in something. You know, you believe in this. Okay, do it. But when you're doing it in the form of destruction, you're doing it in the form of stopping traffic, there's ways to do it. You know, there's ways to do it. But when you're destroying monuments that are the heritage of where you're from, that represent the country where you're from, you know, if you're doing that, destroying things, breaking buildings, all of that, that's not doing anything for your cause. You know, that's not doing anything for your cause. You really want to know, truthfully, you want to know how you make a point for your cause. And this is the harsh reality, team. I'm going to be real with you. This is the harsh reality. You know, it's through self-service. Self-service is how you justify your cause. You have to do something. You have to serve, you know? And my thought is, when I see all these protesters, you know, now granted, hey, I'm sorry if this offends you. You know, I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to. I'm entitled to my opinion just as you guys are entitled to yours, you know? Which is weird because I feel like when you go to these protests, it's like they don't see it that way. It's like you got to believe what they believe. Otherwise, they're going to beat your ass. You know, they're going to get you out of there. Like, it's going to get crazy. And I'm like, wait a minute. That's not what the American way of life is. Just like you have your freedom of choice and freedom of speech, I have my freedom of choice and freedom of speech. No one said we have to agree, you know. But if yours is a call for violence, I might want to think twice about what you stand for then, you know. But either way, I don't mean to get off topic. It's through self-service, all right? Hey, throwing rocks in a coffee shop and then waving free Palestine, I'm sorry to say, you know, posting all this stuff on your social media, I'm sorry to say that's not, hey, you can do that all you want. You're literally fighting for a cause, or you think you're fighting for a cause for thousands of miles away. So, why don't you man up, own up, own up? Okay, self-service. I chose to give myself service for this country, you know, and serve in the military. Yeah, that's self-service. I chose to dedicate that self-service to go where they send me for how many months, no matter where it is, and I do it. And I do it. So I'd say, and I would encourage, hey, for any of you guys, if you ever have a discussion with somebody like that, I always ask them, okay, so what have you done? What have you done? Because posting these hashtags, all that, you know, all these videos, that doesn't do anything. That's not doing anything for them over there. That's not. I'm just going to be real. I'm sorry to be truthful here, but that's not doing anything over there. You're going to have to do some self-service. You're going to have to serve in some shape or form. You know, go over there and help load their magazines. Go clean their weapons. You know, go over there and march with them, because marching over here ain't doing nothing. I'm just sorry to say, it's just not doing nothing. I mean, look at history. Look at how many protests have gone over history. And then also, you got to look at the reality. Look at the trends. Look what's on the news. Look at the politics. It was a wave that came and it's gone. That's literally what happens here. That's literally what happens when you have an emotional society. You know, they make decisions off emotions. Emotions come and go. So you're going to see these waves come and go, you know, and that's just a harsh reality. It is, you know. So if any of you, I'm just saying, if any of you are all, so hey, here's the thing. Nobody likes war, all right? Nobody likes war. War, I hope none of you guys ever have to see it, you know, much less smell it, you know. And it's shitty what's going on over there. I'm just going to share my thoughts right now. It's shitty what's going on over there. But the harsh reality is, look at history. You know, history literally never lies. No, learn about it. Learn about it. Don't go off just the bumper stickers that you see. Learn about it. Learn about it. And learn that is a conflict that's been going on since the biblical times. You know, it's literally, that conflict is identified even in the Bible, you know. And that is a conflict that, hey, you guys are going to have to resolve, because it's been a long time and you still haven't fixed it. So, hey, we're going to do what we can. But right now, I don't see the logic in throwing rocks or protesting outside of a building and spray painting Hamas. I don't know that is. I mean, to me, that looks like somebody being radicalized, which is now probably going to be looked at, because now you're standing up for a terrorist organization. You know, and I'm sorry to say, but there is no hiding in America anymore. There is no hiding. So you can put a bandana over your whatever, you carry it over your mouth there a little bit. There's just no hiding, man. Yeah. So those are just my 2 cents, team. All right. Either way, you just got to brace yourself, because we're in for a rough ride. I've been saying it, team. I've been telling you, rough ride. 2024, 2025 is going to get crazy. Oh, yeah. It's going to get crazy. All right. So let's check this out. So this is the event where they were burning the flag. All right. So in this video, you're going to see the rally, which here again, like I said, all these individuals right here, what is all this doing for Palestine right now? And I encourage you, If anybody's seriously, when you guys watch this, please comment down below. Let me know. I read all my comments. I respond to them. Let me know. I want to know just by this picture right here. All these people right here. Let's pick this dude right here. This guy right here, walking around this flag. What is that doing for Palestine right now? Like literally, that moment right there. You know what can really? You want to know what can really help them? I'm just saying. If you really want to go over there. I mean, go help them. Go give service. Screaming and yelling doesn't do anything. Go give service. Provide service. That's a real way to stand for your cause. Yeah, simple service. How many times as kids did we grow up and we would say, I want this toy. I want this toy. Mom, I want this toy, and you can cry all you want. Are you going to get the toy? No. But guess what? If you tell your mom, hey, if I vacuum my room, can I get that toy? If I clean the house, will I get that toy? If I do this, will I get that toy? Can I get that toy? Guess what then? You can get the toy. It's simple.
We're hearing
All right, let's check this out.
Act of heroism involving that chaos on Capitol Hill as pro-Palestinian demonstrators protested the Israeli prime minister speaking before a joint meeting of Congress. When they started burning the American flag, one man had seen enough. Allison Hall tells us how he tried to save Old Glory.
An American flag has been set aflame until this
I'm just curious, what does that do?
He bravely grabs the flag out of the fire and then
it looks like everybody here, what is this doing for your cause? Other than you destroying property, to me, that's like, you're just being brats. I'm sorry. Own your shit, own your role, own the sword you're going to fall on. You want to stand on that sword? Okay, then be a man, be a woman, and stand for that sword. Go provide service. There's nothing stopping you. You could find a flight, get out there, and go provide your service. This doesn't do anything. Look at, hey, I want this. I'm going to go burn a shopping cart. I'm going to cry and yell and be a nuisance until I get what I want. That's not how you're going to get what you want. It's not. I'm sorry to say. It's not.
And flees into the crowd of anti-Israel protesters outside Washington's Union Station.
This guy.
They immediately go after him.
Why?
The man
Why go after him?
To safety. All that's left is a small piece.
If you got the freedom to burn the flag, okay, and somebody, dude, just goes there and grabs it, he's got that freedom too, all right? Who are you, the freedom police? Oh, hey, you got to be pro-Palestine or we're going to chase you out. No, dude, no, that's not how it works. You're an American, I'm an American, he's an American, we're all Americans, all right? We have the same constitutional rights, I took a sacrifice to defend those, so I know a thing or two. Oh, guys, it's just been an interesting day. I don't know why people.
The charred flag in his hand, asking to remain anonymous for fears of his personal safety.
Yeah.
We do know he's a lawyer.
First of all, though, I don't know why this guy was even there in the first place.
He scribbled out in black.
That was not an attorney.
I mean, the reality is, why was that guy even there in the first place, dude? I mean, what are you doing there? Obviously, you're outnumbered by a bunch of little teenagers and people who, don't know, probably don't have their mommies and daddies or didn't have their daddies growing up or never had a military person in their family, no veterans. I don't even know. You're there with a bunch of people who are not at work, probably obviously unemployed, and they're all doing that for probably some money or getting paid. I mean, I don't know. Dude, obviously there's a loud crowd of people and they're screaming and they're being a bunch of brats. So you're outnumbered. Just get out of there. And I love how the cops, though, you see the cops are just kind of just standing there because they know. They're like, hey, let's let babies cry. Hey, they're gonna, hey, let them cry. Let them cry. Hey, they're gonna fall asleep. They're gonna take their naps. Don't worry. Let them come out here, stomp around, hit their thing, boom, 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 and let them cry. Don't worry. They're going to take their naps later. They're going to get tired. They're going to get hungry. They're going to get tired. Okay. I mean, that's kind of like how it is. You know, I'm sorry. I just don't have respect for people who are brats, who try to get their way by being a brat. I don't, you know, as a parent, you know, as a leader, no, man, you can go put in the work, own your shit, you know, take ownership in your role, take ownership in duty responsibilities. And if you want to find a way to serve, then go find a way to serve, but don't cry for this because you're entitled to it. No, it doesn't work that way. I'm sorry to say, guys. I take this very serious only because I've deployed for this country, gone overseas, and when I see like a terrorist organization, you know, like this, who would literally hate American way of life, they hate the American, like the freedom like that you have, they hate that, you know, and it's just tough to see. It's tough to see. Yeah, I don't even know, team. I would just encourage you guys. It's going to be a crazy 2024, 2025 is going to be crazy. But it's not going to be impossible for us to find comfort in our chaos. You know, that is something that I am a firm believer in. You know, whether you agree with me, whether you disagree with me, I'm going to tell you right now, this is the only life you have, regardless. And you're not going to get time back. You know, the clock's going to keep ticking and life's going to keep going. It's not going to stop just because you don't believe something, or that challenge, that storm cloud just hit you in the face with a new obstacle, you're faced with it. And then, no, don't let it condemn you. Don't let it hold you down. All right. It's like I always say, you can learn from failure, but you can't learn from quitting. So don't quit. All right. And there's always something to learn. You know, there's always something to learn. Just like here, I love learning from you guys. I love sharing my point of view, sharing my opinions, and then hearing what you guys have to say. I love it. And I respect you guys, and I'm sorry if this one kind of came off a little emotional, but the truth is, this is what Comfort and Chaos is about. Sometimes you have to have uncomfortable conversations in order to learn and understand. Either way, there's progress and a positive outlook in every conversation, you know. So focus on the good, not the bad. Focus on the good, not the bad. Oh, man, yeah. So, hey, I would encourage you guys, the American flag, hey, you know what? Just respect it, honor it, even though you're free to do what you want with it. But just understand the history and the pride and the heritage that comes with that, you know, and just take that in mind. I would just encourage you guys, take that in mind. And when you see somebody disrespecting the flag, just make sure they know what they're really disrespecting or destroying, you know. Just be like, hey, they probably don't even know. I guarantee that dude that probably burned that flag and lit that flag on fire, I guarantee he probably doesn't even know what the colors represent. You know, why we chose red, white, and blue, what each color represent, what each symbol represents. I bet you he didn't even know that. You know, so yeah, it's going to be a crazy year, team. It's going to be a crazy year. So we got an election coming up, election year. We got a lot of chaos that is coming our way, but you know what? We're going to find a way, and we're going to get comfortable in it. We're going to get comfortable in it. All right. You can find comfort in your chaos. All right, team. Hey, I thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here. I thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I hope we're able to have some conversation with this, you know. Once again, I apologize if I got a little, you know, a little blunt, little forward there, but you know, hey, I'm a senior leader in the United States military already. All right. We don't have time to sugarcoat. You're not going to get the sugarcoating, you know. But we're still going to have fun, and we're going to have conversation. And guess what? In the end, we'll still have a cup of coffee together, whether we agree or disagree. In the end, we'll have a cup of coffee together, and time in life is still going to go. There you go. That's it. It's too easy, team. All right, team. Hey, don't forget, do your push-ups, take your vitamins, drink your water, and most importantly, guys, continue the mission of life. The mission of life. Never cease on an opportunity or creating a memory. All right? Let's focus on being a better version of ourselves in every day, in every way. And that means sometimes we're going to have to agree and disagree with each other. But either way, let's be better. All right? It's too easy. All right, guys. You have a good one. I'll see you on the next one, team.